Lightweight bout here, Nasrat Haqparast sitting at minus 500 against the newcomer Landon Quinones sitting at plus 350. Over under 2.5 rounds, minus 150 for the over, plus 120 for the under. So Landon Quinones stepping in on short notice to fight the veteran Nasrat Haqparast, and he is quite a sizable underdog. Haqparast, 28 years of age, just picked up the win over John Makdessi, who we just talked about. And that was a good bounce back win for him, but definitely should have beat John Makdessi, who was on a 2-fight losing streak against Bobby Green and Dan Hooker, who just kind of put it on him. So it was a good win for him to get back on track. He's getting a newcomer here in Landon Quinones, who is on the Ultimate Fighter this past season, lost to Jason Knight by a triangle choke in less than a minute in the first round of the tournament, I guess, the Ultimate Fighter tournament. So he was out there pretty quick. He comes back here. He still gets a shot in the UFC. I think he can pull off an upset in his debut.
I'm honestly surprised that they brought him in for this fight, out of all people. A little surprising. You get finished like that on the Ultimate Fighter, and hey, by the way, let's fight on a pay-per-view card against, a decent fighter. I'm not real high on Nasrat Haqparast, but if the fight's on the feet, like, he's pretty damn good. His boxing's pretty damn slick, and he can rack up significant strikes, and he outstrikes a lot of opponents who aren't Bobby Green and Dan Hooker. Guys that are under that level, Nasrat Haqparast is going to he's going to compete with anybody on the feet. And in this fight, if Quinones can't come in and clip him with a big shot or find an early TKO or some kind of stoppage, I think Nasrat's going to do the same to him as he does all of his other opponents that he has wins over. Just rack up significant strikes, stay at range, and just box you up. I do think he's a pretty decent boxer. So, yeah, honestly just confused why Landon Quinones is even getting this opportunity. I feel like no hate on him or knock to him, but out of everybody you could have picked, like, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I know on the Ultimate Fighter, he takes the loss to Jason Knight, who's a vet and made it pretty far in the show, but just a little confusing to me. I think Haqparast wins this thing probably by decision. If Quinones can just tough it out, probably gets another decision. That's how Nasrat Haqparast wins a lot of his fights, especially lately. But yeah, I think it's going to be pretty lopsided if it stays on the feet.
Yeah, he must have impressed throughout the Ultimate Fighter house, or like in training something, because he's at the UFC PI or the Apex for however long. So he must have impressed doing something there. His only loss is to Muhammad Naimov, who's in the UFC we just talked about, who knocked out Jamie Malarkey. That was by a split decision in Titan FC. That's kind of where he's been doing a lot of, or pretty much all of his professional career, is Titan FC. He's gotten a good amount of knockouts, 5 to be exact, 2 in the first round, 2 in the second round, 1 in the third. So looks like he can carry over the finishing ability into the later rounds. He'll be dangerous at first, but Nasrat probably settles in and cruises to a decision. I would probably think so. It's a tough spot for Quinones to come in. And, if you go to the Ultimate Fighter and you don't make it through, you're probably going to take any opportunity you can to get to the UFC. So it's probably why he's taking this one here, just getting the foot in the door and fulfilling the dream. So I'm going to go with Nasrat for sure.